Alright guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit more interesting. I don't know why this menu came up. Alright. We're going to be doing something a little bit new to the channel. We're going to be playing Dice Throne. I have downloaded the Tabletop Simulator and I've also downloaded the mod of Dice Throne, which adds 7 heroes that could be played. So you've got the Barbarian, the Moon Elf, Gunslinger, Raveness, Pyromancer, Shadow Thief, and Ninja. So basically what we're going to be doing on this channel is we're going to be going through all of these, and then we're going to be going through some Steam Workshop mods. I'm actually part of the Dice Throne homebrew community, and we've been making some pretty good characters that do need to be play tested. So I thought, well, why don't we make videos of them being play tested? But for now, we're going to be playing the first 2 characters on the list that ever came out for the in shopping centers, Walmart, and Barnes & Noble especially, and that is the Barbarian, which if you don't know how this mod is played, you just click the icon of the character and then you just wait, and then they will load up like so. Alright. Fine. Alright, not that laggy. It is a little laggy, but not terrible. CPU does not like loading these cards, but it does go down after a period of time. So now, we're going to load the Moon Elf. And it's just going to take a little bit of time, not much as the Barbarian, and then we're just going to make sure the lag spike, alright, lag spike is over. Alright, so how Dice Throne works, I'll just go over this card real quick. There is a turn cycle, so of course both characters will roll 2 dice, and whoever's higher dice goes first, and then it just goes back and forth between the 2 players for 1v1. The turn order card, as you can see here, there's an upkeep phase where status effects that happen during upkeep happen, such as burn damage and poison damage. We'll talk about those when they happen. Then you have an income phase where you gain a combat point and you draw a card. And then main phase, you can play cards, spending combat points to play cards, as cards will have costs on them. And then there will be an offensive roll phase where you will roll all 5 of your dice 3 times for all 5 dice, and try and get one of these combinations that you can use to activate one of these abilities to deal damage and employ status tokens. And if you don't know how Dice Throne works, this is a pretty good tutorial, but for right now we're going to get started. We're going to get a Barbarian dice, and we're going to get a Moon Elf dice. We're going to highlight both of them so they can roll together. Alright, so that is an easy Barbarian dub right there. Alright, so for Dice Throne, you want to draw 4 cards, because you start with 4 cards at the beginning. I don't want to put them into hands because I can't see both hands, unfortunately. So we're just going to have to do it like this for now. Highlight those. Flip those over. Alright, so wild, change any value of 1 dice, cost 2 CP, combat points. Get some attack modifier. Same seas, change one of the value of your dice to be identical as another dice, and then remove a status effect from a chosen player, most likely yourself. Alright, so for the upkeep phase, nothing is happening. So we will draw a card. One more time, you get an additional roll attempt on your offensive roll phase, and you gain a combat point. So now comes, do I want to use any of these? Well, let's see here. This is 2, roll 5, add 1 per sword symbol, and inflict concussion. I don't know if I want to use this yet, because I could get something valuable in the future. You know what, I'm just going to save that. I'm not going to play any cards, I'm just going to go straight to the offensive just for now, just to show you guys the basics of how to do it. We'll play a card later on when we get a little bit something better, because those cards are kind of bad. So you roll once, and you see if any of these match the combinations down here. Nothing matches the combinations down here. Of course, there's always small straight and large straight as well. So you can either get a small or large straight, so always keep that in mind. There's also a full house down here, as you can see, 3 of 1 and 2 of 1, and then 4 6s over there. So, we didn't get anything. What do I want to try and go? 4 undefendable is pretty good. Undefendable means they can't, like, block the damage, so undefendable is pretty good. We have 2 stuns. could roll and try and get more. Let's roll and see what happens. Okay, good. Overpowered. Alright, so we got we got enough for overpower. So let's see, roll 3, then deal damage equal to the total roll value. That's pretty damn good. If the roll value is at least 14, inflict concussion, which is another attack effect. You know what, I'm going to do that. We're going to do overpower. It's a good thing, as always, if you're playing with more people, to indicate which thing you're doing by putting one of your dice on top of it, just so you know what you're doing. Just a nice etiquette thing. And, yeah. So we're going to roll 3 dice, and we're going to do that combined damage total. So that is 12. So that's 12. It is not above 14, so we do not inflict concussion, unfortunately, but we deal 12 damage. So now you think, oh, we're going to do 12 damage, we'll just remove 12 damage. No, because now the Moon Elf gets to do their defensive roll. Their defensive roll happens after their attacker targets them with their offensive roll phase. We want to deal 12 damage to the Moon Elf. They get the option to do their defensive roll, which is to roll 5 dice. Let's roll 5 dice here. Alright, so they rolled 3 moons, so they don't block anything. Because they need to get 2 feet to prevent 1/2 damage, and then 2 bows to deal 1 damage each. So they're just going to lose 12 outright. Alright, so now, I think that's all we're going to do, so we're going to pass turn, and move over to the Moon Knight. Not the Moon Knight, sorry, this isn't Rivals, Moon Elf. So of course, they start out with 4 cards as well, and they also are going to draw another card, but I just want to flip these over. You can re-roll up to 2 dice, change any value of any 1 dice, so that's pretty good. You got like 4 6s. First upgrade card, so Lunar Umbral. If we spend 0 CP, oh, this is not an upgrade, never mind. If we spend 0 combat points, so we don't even have to spend any fees to cast this card, then we can roll 1 and inflict blind, entangle, and targeted on a 6, and then any other outcome, draw 1. Now, that costs 2, so if we use these in total, we can make it that value is 6 anyway. So that's a good option, but we're going to draw for our income phase. There's no status effects. And I believe, yeah. So getting paid, so our income phase, we add a CP, and then we're going to pay this card. As you can see, it has 0 CP, so it costs 0 charge combat points cast, and we gain 2 CP. So we gain 2 CP by spending nothing. So that card is just for generating extra CP. Alright, so now that we've done that, we're still on our main phase, so we can play any card we want. We're gonna pay 2 combat points and play, actually, let's just see what happens first. So we're gonna play this, 0 CP, and we're gonna roll 1 dice. If this dice is not a 6, then we're gonna, okay, so we're gonna pay 2 CP, and we're going to play So Wild, and we're going to change this dice value to a 6. So now we inflict Blind, Entangle, and Targeted on the Barbarian. And inflicting status tokens, you can only block them if they're on an offensive roll. You can also choose to remove status tokens. But we're going to inflict Blind on him, and we place it on top of his face. Entangle, and Target. So now he is blind, entangled, and targeted on his next move. Alright, so he can play a 1 CP to remove any of that. And that is what he's going to do. He's going to save that for his turn, because none of these status effects do anything until his next turn except for targeted, which isn't that terrible. Targeted just means that if you have this token on you and you're attacked, then you take an extra 2 damage, and that also stays on you until you remove it, so it is kind of just adding 2 extra damage for me whenever I attack him. Alright, so we're not going to play anything else. We have 3 combat points, we can spend it later. We're going to roll our 3 dice for our offensive phase. Alright, so that's 3 feet. Covered shot. I think we can go for this. I don't know if we want to go for this now. I don't think we want to go for this. We're gonna go for it though. Oh, okay, we did. We got it. So, 2 blue, 2 arrows, and 3 feet. You can use covered shot, which I am. I'm gonna gain evasive, which allows me to roll a dice to half the damage to prevent oncoming damage by half. I'll show you how that does when we get attacked, and then deal 7 damage. So before we deal 7 damage, which we're actually going to deal 9 damage because targeted is here, so that's going to give +2 to my attack on him. So it's going to be 9 damage taken to him. But he has a defensive roll, thick skin. He rolls 3 dice. Alright, he rolled 2 swords and a heart. So he got a heart, so he's going to heal 2, but he's going to take 9. So he's down to 43. Alright. So now, do I want to do anything? No, I'm going to pass turn back to him. Alright, so he's got 43. So now, what he's going to do, first he's going to go through his income, so he's going to gain a charge point, and he's going to draw a card. Okay. Costs 0 CP to roll 1 and gain half that value in charge points. Alright, he's going to spend that, because we're on the main phase now. He's going to roll 1. And he got 4, so 4 divided by 2 is 2, so he's going to gain 2 charge points, nice. He's going to spend 1 charge point to remove the blind token. The reason why he removed the blind token is because, let's say he went through the defensive phase and he was going to use Mighty Blow. So you have to roll 1 dice, and if you got a 1 through 2, if you got a 1 and a 2, in this case it would have failed, but a 1 or 2, then his attack would do nothing and it would just pass turn straight back to the moon elf. So blindness can immediately just discard an attack entirely and waste your entire time. So that's why he's going to remove that status token, because with this card, because that one's the worst of the other 2. Alright, so he's got 5 more, and I think what we're going to do is we're going to pay 2 to put this attack modifier in, but we have to wait until roll phase. So another thing, the reason why you may have noticed these are blue and orange, these denote what phases you can use these cards in. When we were in the main phase, we could use the blue border cards because we were in main phase. But in order, we have to get into the offensive, defensive roll phase to use the orange border cards. So we can't pay for these until we get into our offensive roll, which we're about to begin. Alright, we're going to get our 5 dice, and we get 3 roll attempts. Actually, no, we don't. We don't. So this is Entangle. So we go over here to Entangle. 1 less roll attempt. So usually you get 3 offensive roll attempts to roll a combination of dice. But since we have Entangle, we only get 2. 1 less roll attempt. We only got 2 of these to roll a dice. Okay, that's actually freaking solid. We can heal 6. Yeah, heal 6. And you know what? I think we're going to do that. So, buy that, because that only stays for 1 turn, and we're going to heal 6. And you know what? We're just going to pass turn. Because we just rolled a perfect 5 5s. Nice. Alright, so they gain a combat point, draw a card. Oh, upgrade card. Okay, so this is what an upgrade card looks like. You can spend CP to upgrade your board, and we're going to do that so I can show you guys how it works. We're going to spend 2 combat points. Spend 2 combat points to pay for this card, and we're going to place it on top of the board where the entangling shot used to be. So this is entangling shot 2. This adds an extra upgrade, so it's upgraded stats to blinding. And so now it's blinding shot instead of entangled shot. Is that the same? No, it's down here. Sorry, blinding shot 2. So the large trait is now upgraded to deal extra damage and gain evasive instead of just blind. And we have an extra ability. So some upgrade cards will also give you an extra combination, so you can use this just in case you roll jack nothing there's an extra combination, which doesn't deal any damage, unfortunately, but does still inflict stuff just in case, you know, you don't have any good rolls. You have an extra combination at your disposal. So now, instead of just having to get 9 possible combinations, now we've got 10. And we're going to roll all 5 of these dice, like so. Alright, so that is 3, deal 4 damage, inflict targeted. Oh, that would make it so that total is 8 damage. Alright, so is there anything that's above that? The only thing that's above that is covered shot, which we can get if we roll a 3 here. But I don't know if I want to do that. You know what? I don't want to do that right now. That's too... I'm not going to risk that. But we are going to inflict another targeted. So now, targeted, he's got 2 targeted, means that +2, +4. So +2, +2, so +4 damage to me. So I'm going to inflict, what does that say? Demising shot, and then deal 4 damage. I'm going to be dealing 8 damage in total, but the Barbarian gets to do his defensive roll. So he gets to do a defensive roll, and he rolled 2 hearts, so he's going to heal 4. I'm dealing 8, so I'm just going to take 4 from him. Alright, so now he's got 4, I've got nothing else that I want to play, and let's pass turn to him. So he's going to gain a combat point. Change the value of any 2 dice, so twice as wild. Alright, so all these are modifiers, so I'm gonna have to go straight to offensive phase because I don't have any blue cards to play. Alright, so we've got 4 swords. That's gonna deal 6 damage. Do I want to go higher than that? I could re-roll these 2. I could re-roll these 2 and try and get a 4 for a straight. I'm gonna do that. Re-roll again. Alright, I didn't get it straight, but I have 4 swords, so we can still do 6 damage. And I'm going to spend, 2 combat points to play this card, get some, which the attack modifier says roll 5 dice, and every time you get a sword, you add 1 extra damage. So right now, we are doing 6 damage with smack. But we're going to roll all 5 of our dice with this attack modifier, and how many swords we get is what we add. So we add 3. 1, 2, 3. So we're dealing 9 damage, and we're inflicting concussion. A player with a concussion has to skip their income phase. So we'll talk about that later when the Moon Elf, gets that income phase. We'll talk about that. But now we're doing 9 damage. Move over to the Moon Elf. They are going to roll all 5 dice for their defensive roll. Alright, so they got 4 arrows, so that means for every 2 arrows they do 1 damage. So they're going to do 2 damage back to us. And they're going to lose 9 health. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then they're going to deal 2 damage to us. Right here. Alright. That is it for the Barbarian. Actually, no, that's not. Because they have targeted on them. So this adds 4 to that 2 they just did to us. So 1, 2, 3, 4 because of these 2 targeted. Because any attack that they give to us until we remove these targeted things does an extra 4 damage. Alright, so now we go to the Moon Elf. So concussion means we can't get a combat point or draw an extra card. We skip our income phase. So we're going to remove the concussion because we don't have it anymore, but we don't do our income phase. Okay, we've got an attack modifier that costs 2, which we could do. We will see what our attack looks like. So let's go to offensive, roll. Alright, so that is covered shot again. But you do 11 damage now, which isn't terrible. I don't know. You know what? I'm gonna do it. That's 11 damage. 11 damage is actually pretty good. So I'm going to do 11 damage, because we do 7 damage plus 9 and then 11 for the 2 targeted. So we're going to do 11 damage. Of course, he's going to roll his 3 for his defensive. He didn't get a single heart, so he's not healing any damage. So he's just going to take 11. So 10, 11. See, this is why target is good. Like, this is why Moon Elf is a sleeper pick for a really good character, because if you don't have any status effect removers, then targeted just becomes a way to multiply damage. Alright, so is Moon Elf actually able to do anything? No, she's going to keep her faces and use them later. So now we go on to Barbarian. He gets a combat point, turn, flip, gets an extra card. Helping Hand, select one of your opponent's dice and force them to re-roll it. That's a good one. Force Moon Elf to re-roll one of her dice. Alright, we're going to go straight to combat. She's got no cards to play during main phase. 3 swords, a 6, and a 5. Decisions. We could do 6 damage. We do have a lot of combat points to spend. Is it possible? Wait. Is it possible? Change any value of the dice. Okay, we're going to do that because we're going to spend 2 combat points, so wild, and we're going to change this 6 to a 4. Don't know how you would. Is that it? Okay. Change that to a 4 to activate large straight, which is reckless. We're dealing 15 damage and receive 4 damage in return. So we're dealing 4 damage to ourselves and dealing 15 damage to the Moon Elf. Now you may say, well, aren't you taking 8 because of the target? Targeted only works if the Barbarian is getting targeted from the person who put these on him. Since the Moon Elf put the targeted icons on him, only the Moon Elf's attacks get +4. So Barbarian will take 4 damage in return, but will deal 15 damage to the Moon Elf. And return damage only applies if at least 1 damage deals successfully. So if the Moon Elf prevents all 15 damage from being dealt, so this whole attack is just useless, then we will not receive any 4 damage. So this 4 damage is only if the 15 damage is successful. So let's go to Moon Elf. She's going to roll her 5 dice real quick. Do we get any feet? Okay, we got 2. So on 2 feet, we got 2 feet. This isn't repeatable, so she can't prevent all damage, but what she can do is you get a pair of feet, which you got a pair of feet. She's going to prevent half damage rounded up. So half of 15 is 7.5, rounded up is 8. So she's preventing 8, she's only taking 7. Alright, so she could prevent all that damage, but I'm not going to do that. We're going to save those just in case we actually don't get to prevent all that damage. And since that attack was successful, Barbarian, of course, will take his 4 damage for being reckless. Alright, so now it is Moon Elf's turn, because Barb doesn't have any main phase cards to play. She's going to, since we don't have concussion only lasts 1 turn, she gets an income, where she gains a charge point, a combat point, draws a card, another orange card. Chosen player prevents 6 incoming damage. That's pretty damn good. We're going to go to offensive phase because she has no blue cards, so she can't play any blue cards. She only has orange ones, so she has to be on offensive or defensive. She's going to roll. Is this covered shot again? No, it's not. It's not a covered shot. It's actually nothing. Oh wait, no, it's not. It's a large straight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes! Okay, so blinding shot. And we did upgrade this. We upgraded blinding shot to blinding shot 2. So now we can inflict blind, inflict, gain evasive. So we gain another evasive on ourselves. We have 2 evasive now. We're going to inflict blind on Barbarian and deal 10 damage. Now he can't block the blind. Blind goes on him no matter what. But he can defend against this still, because it isn't undefendable. However, I'm going to keep this modifier actually, because We're dealing 10 damage, but we're actually dealing 14 because of the targeted 1 and targeted 2. So 10 base, then plus 2, 14. So he gets to roll his heart dice, and see if he gets any hearts. And he gets a heart. So he's going to heal 2 damage, so we're just going to nilch one of those. So 10 base, nilch the 2 that were healed, so 12 damage. Yeah, Barbarian's going to need a heal for this. Alright, so now do we have anything else to do? No, we don't. Alright, we're going to move to the Barbarian. He's going to need a heal soon. Gain a charge point. Yeah, getting paid, gain 2 CP. We're going to spend that because it costs 0 charge points, combat points, so just free combat points. And we're going to use these to play some of these cards here. One more time, get an efficient rotam, change any 2 dice. That's 3 CP. Force them to re-roll. Change any value of your dice to be identical. And that is 1 CP. So we could get some of that. Alright, so we got no blue cards, so we skip straight to roll, because we don't have any blue cards to play during main phase. Alright, so we need a heal. Alright, so heal 6. Any of these heal 6. Or we get a large trait. If we get a large trait, we deal 15 to them. Okay, I think what we could do. Yeah. Okay, so we need these. We need this to be a 5. Oh, is that a 5? Yes. Okay, we can. So 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 is a large trait. So we're dealing 15 damage. We receive 4 in return if it's successful. So here's why I removed blind earlier. So blind, on a 1 or 2, you fail your roll offensive. So this 15 damage can be stopped if we roll a 1 or 2. Which we're going to roll. It's not a 1 or 2. So the blindness fails. We still got our attack. Alright, so we're dealing 15 damage, 4 to ourselves. Let's see how much Moon Elf can repeal this. Roll. Alright, she's not preventing any of it. She's still taking 15. She is going to be dealing 2 damage back to us. So we're going to be taking... Actually, she's going to be dealing 6 damage back to us. Alright, so... let's see here. Let's spend 1 CP, and we're going to prevent 6 damage from being taken. So we're only going to take 9 damage. So 9 damage. And we're going to deal 6 damage back, because for every arrow we rolled 4 arrows, so every pair of arrows we deal 1 damage. So that's 2 pairs of arrows, so 2 damage, plus 4, plus 6. Alright, sorry Mike got a little cut out. Alright, so yeah, 13 damage, she deals 6 damage to him, so now he's down, he's down to 6. So not looking good for the Barbarian. He's gonna need to heal himself to get through this next phase. Actually no, he can't heal. He's done. I think he's gonna be done after this actually. Because we've got 2 evasive still. We're going to get rid of this. Flip. Select one of your opponent's doors and force them to re-roll it. I think that Moon Elf is going to win this time. She gains a combat point because of income. She's got no blue cards, so back to offensive. She just needs to deal 6 damage. And Barbarian's done. Is that enough? No, it is not. Wait a minute. 3 plus 7, that is enough, but he can heal himself for 6 damage. So he technically has 12 HP because the max roll on his defensive roll would mean that he rolls 3 hearts and he heals 2 health per heart. Right there, he heals 2 health per heart. So all 3 of these dice rolls are 6. We need to deal at least 12 damage to him for him to die. So I need to deal 12 damage to him. I'm going to try and re-roll this. There we go. Covered shot, that'll deal 11 damage. Alright. Alright. So, we're going to do a covered shot, gain evasive, deal 7 damage, and we're going to pay 0 CP. We don't have to pay anything, just 0 CP, take that. Roll 1 dice on an arrow, add 2 damage. Okay. Roll. Arrow. So add 2 damage. So we're going to be dealing 7 damage plus 2, so that's 9, and then plus 11 and 13. So he will die no matter what, but we're still going to see how much his health differential would be. Okay, he rolled... I don't know why... No, you're supposed to only roll 3. And he rolled 3 hearts. No, I'm gonna... Because I messed up, so I'm gonna let him re-roll these until he gets at least 1 heart. There you go. So he heals 2, but he's still gonna be taking 13, so he is gone. So yeah. So even though he was able to heal back to 8, he still takes 13, so he is a -5, which doesn't matter because I'm still at 13. So the Moon Elf wins. So yeah, that is a full game of Dice Throne between the Moon Elf and the Barbarian. Obviously, the targeted really did help the Moon Elf here. If Moon Elf didn't have this, then we'd be facing a little bit more difficulty with not getting +4 on every single strike that she does. But if the Barbarian got better rolls, again, use some of these cards, then maybe he could have gotten better rolls. But for now, that is going to do it for this video, guys, on the Moon Elf and the Barbarian. Thank you guys so much for watching. We're going to be doing more with the other 7 characters, and then some of the modded characters that people have homebrewed into the game. But of course, thank you guys so much for watching. Like if you like, dislike if you don't, subscribe if you like the video, comment down below your thoughts on my Dice Throne playthrough and my tutorial as well as we went through, and I'll see you guys later. Toodaloo!